Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout. Well, last time you remember we came to the glow. We miraculously managed to get there without having a single random encounter despite a rather lengthy journey. And we have managed to get through the first 3 levels of the vault at the center of it with no fuss, no muss. Mostly because there's no vermin in this place and the only enemies are robots who are powered down. Who I am very carefully killing while they're powered down, so that once we get the power turned back on, they will no longer be an issue. Because you can fight your way past them if you have a full party or some good energy weapons, which at this point in the game you probably do not. Unless you just go to the first level, get the item you need to join the Brotherhood of Steel, and then come back and start cleaning the place out later. But where's the fun in that? At least this is much faster now that I remember that there's a reload option on the combat menu. This is a tough one. And finally, that 16-point shot did it. But hey, 650 experience points. Now over here, you see a room with 3 lockers. Which of course will be the first place we loot. And here we have the jackpot of helpful drugs, a tool, which we are now at maximum capacity, a Geiger counter if you came here without one, which we did, even though we don't really need it, and a copy of Dean's Electronics, which I can't pick up, and I don't want to try and read right now because reading a book will take valuable time off of our medication. But we do have more ammo, although I can't pick that up, and we've also got pulse grenades, which would be very useful for taking on the robots if I intended to let them live. But could be something useful to come back for later. And we've got rockets and explosive rockets, which would be great if I had a rocket launcher. But we got more medical gear, which is always nice. And you'll note that this door over here, sturdy rusted elevator door. Now it may have an electrical charge. This elevator is inoperable. It seems to need more power than the emergency power it can handle. Because in fact this elevator is where we have to go to get to the level 5 that you may have noticed is not on the red elevator. And that is in fact a chair, not a corpse, so nothing useful in there. That is in fact the remains of a guard. There's 2 remains of a guard, and there we have a blue key card that we can't pick up because we are so overburdened. Plastic explosives are cool and all, but I was mostly going to use them to clear out some of the robot sections. And that one actually is a chair. So, and nothing in there, but this definitely looks like a lab of some type. Some sort of medical or experimental apparatus. Looks as if it could contain a human or larger sized body. You can't get there using science. And we're going to come back here because, you know, obviously the glowing computer is something we want to check out. And there's not much in here. And just some computers here. With the honest to goodness, you see a very modern looking computer with the old tape reels. But here we have an extremely advanced computer. How may I be of assistance? Who or what are you? I'm machine intelligence dedicated to research and installation control. I am called Zax. Well, what kind of research? I'm specifically programmed for research and research into biological studies, inducing pathology and genetic research. My primary function is exploration of information of complexity levels exceeding human capacity. So you're pretty smart, eh? I am beyond the typical rating in human terms. However, it would be safe to say that no more than 1/10 billionth of the history of the human population can match my reasoning capabilities. Right, can we talk about something else? How may I be of assistance? Tell me about this installation. West Tech Research Facility. Founded in 2002 as a private contractor for the United States government, the company initially consisted of the two divisions, the Advanced Weapons Research and the Biomedical Science divisions. In 2069, West Tech was the single largest contractor for the United States government, its largest contract being the powered infantry armor model T-51B, in Life's Advances in 2076 by the NBC on the Pan-Immunity Virion Project. The United States Defense Project, in fear of international espionage, moved the team onto the site to secure and oversee the project, dubbed the FEV Forced Evolution Virus Project. Can you tell me about the particulars of the specific areas? My sensors are currently non-functional on the surface facility and the subterranean levels 1 through 3. I can, however, provide descriptions of levels 4 through 6. Level 4. Level 4, Research Facility. This level contains testing areas and laboratories for experiments in biology and physics. Level 5. Level 5, Secure Testing Labs. This level contains a lab for experimental prototype testing and a research lab for classified projects. These subjects provided some of the necessary impetus for the development of FEV. Level 6. Level 6, Barracks and Central Operations. Contains living facilities for lab personnel and guard contingents and operations meeting room. Okay, back up a bit. Grant me access to the mainframe. Access granted. And main menu. So we have select option, base information, which we already got. Security information. Robots are inactive. Research information. Records on most of the West Tech research. So we have Research Division employee records. And that security level clearance is on here. Download those to the Pip-Boy. Why not? Power armor status complete. The T-51B powered infantry armor is designed with the latest passive defensive features for both civilian and military disturbances. The back-mounted TX-28 microfusion, skipped a bit there. But we can download those records to the Pip-Boy as well. Anyway, back-mounted TX-28 microfusion backpack generates 600,000 not 600, 60,000 watts to power the hydroflow hydraulic systems built into the frame of the suit. Made of the latest polylaminate composite, the T-51B shell is lightweight and capable of absorbing over 2,500 joules of kinetic impact. The 10-micron silver ablative coating can reflect laser and radiation emissions without damage to the composite subsurface. So, down with that again. FEV, Forced Evolution Virus, status pending. 2073, as China became increasingly aggressive with their use of biological weapons, the United States government felt that a countermeasure was needed. The Pan-Immunity Virion Project, PVP, was officially formed on September 15, 2073. 2075, it became clear that the best way to combat the newly created biological weapons was to alter uninfected DNA so that it was no longer susceptible to standard viral infection. 2076, unforeseen side effects began surfacing in early 2076 with the PVP. Animal test subjects began showing an abnormal growth rate, accompanied by increased brain activity. And went faster than I could read that, but download those records as well. Anyway, it became clear. Anyway, the animal test subjects began showing an abnormal growth rate, accompanied by increased brain activity. The U.S. government took notice of these discoveries, and in the interest of national security, moved a team on site to secure and oversee the project, which is now dubbed the FEV, Forced Evolution Virus Project. 2077, FEV nears completion. Tests on lab animals are at a near 100% success rate. Size and muscular density increased approximately 60%, and the protein intelligence increased in theoretically programming. The military, which continued further testing, builds a large facility at the Mariposa Military Installation, Central California. At this new facility, testing FEV continues on volunteer subjects from the military. Virus that makes people into giants that was tested in a military base. That sounds vaguely familiar. And possibly important to the plot. Okay, well, that's actually everything we can do on this level for the moment. And one thing that I did not do while I was running around killing the robots is that you can in fact loot their bodies and get assault rifles off of them, but I've got too much gear as it is. And, oh, wait. Do not want to do that. I want to use the red card to go down to level 6. So we can now use this to go down to level 6, which you might recall from last time we were told is where the main generator is. And we walk around this level and we see that it is in fact mostly living quarters. Though there ain't nothing living here now. I'll tell you what, just to make this interesting, I'm only going to kill this one robot here for 300 XP. And when I get the power on, we'll have one robot left, so I can show you exactly why I'm being so careful to deactivate these guys as I'm going along. So another stim pack and some more power cells. Rat away in a knife. Wow, even dropping those is not enough. Yeah, well, dynamite's just impractical anyway. But I now have a laser pistol. And more ammo that I can't pick up because, unlike the later Fallout games, they actually gave the ammo some weight. Personally, I think realism is overrated. And we see remains of person in power armor, who is carrying nothing. And a guard who has a regular pistol, which again does not do us much good. And that's everything apart from the one room with the powered computer. Which is next to a generator. These generators seem to be offline. You wonder if you can start them back up. Well, with my repair skill now being at 90%, you start up the generators and all systems seem to be coming back online. So we have to take the computer, power management, emergency power. Go ahead and backtrack primary power, reinitialize, and boom! We now have a well-lit vault. And if I head back this way, yep, robots are awake. And now seems like a good time to switch weapons. Luckily, I'm wearing concussive armor. That hit it for 24. And that was enough to send him running. You can hide in the corner, it won't do you much good. For destroying enemies without taking a scratch, 175 XP, which is less than I made for disabling them while they were down. But there we go. And yeah, this one has a sniper rifle on him. So yeah, given that it took me 2 grenades and 1 shot with a laser pistol to take down this guy, you can see why having 4 or 5 of them swarming me at once would be a very bad thing. So I know what you're thinking. Why don't we go to level 5 from here, now that we probably have the power to get the elevator to work? Well, we are going to go to level 5, but first, we're going to do another little example of working smarter, not harder. First, I'm going to go back to level 4. And red key card. Back up. Because there was one option you may have noticed that I skipped over when I was talking to Zax. Because in case you forgot, I am rather canny and intelligent person, and the game as well. And I've been keeping hold of these Mentax, which increase your intelligence, but they also run you the risk of becoming addicted. So just to avoid that, in case, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show off 2 fun things you can do if you have a 10 intelligence. Yep, so gain 2 intelligence, 2 perception, 1 charisma. So I am now currently 10, 10, and fairly perceptive. So with that done, want to play a game of chess? I'd be delighted. Excellent form, however you will need additional practice to defeat me. Well, there's a little bit of luck involved, but potentially with a 10 intelligence, you can beat the computer. It doesn't get you anything except for smug sense of satisfaction. Now, if you have a 10 intelligence, you can also ask more for particulars about how the virus works, and you can also ask a few more details, but it also gives you a special detail if you have a 10 intelligence. If the FEV reinfects the host of its assimilated viral patterns, how does it make a better specimen? And this then gives you, could the FEV mutation be corrected with a countervirus? No, FEV does not retain unaltered original copies of the subject's DNA. Only a virus which reinfected the subject with original DNA could reverse the effects. Additionally, there is no known way to remove the FEV itself. As the FEV causes constant regenerative update to DNA, it would effectively render the subject largely immortal, as cell death would be offset by augmented growth. Additionally, as the gametes of the reproductive system consist of half cells using split DNA, they'd be perceived as damaged by FEV, which would repair them, rendering the subject sterile. However, as my laboratory facilities are damaged beyond repair, this is conjecture. I can't offer physical proof. You will have to, in human terms, take my word for it. And one more game of chess. And this does take up time that we don't have. Security information. These security robots are now active. We can deactivate them. So now the robots on level 5 will not attack us. And just to check my sheet. Yeah, my radiation resistance still currently at 100. Let's just eliminate some space. Lost 22 from the current radiation level. So, with the robots now powered but not activated, or at least not ready to go hostile, we can now safely go to level 5, and they will not harm us. And now that we have full power to the facility, this elevator will work. So yep, these robots deactivated. And for a bit of fun, this robot seems to be inoperable. This is possibly due to the lack of power. And we could disable the primary power from here, but we're not going to, because there's no reason to. And we cannot actually talk to the robots, and since they're not dead, we cannot take their weapons, sillily enough. And then for those who did not get it already, we have another set of combat armor and a gun book, which we can take with us because books are, well, that book is lightweight at least. And we now have microfusion cells and a plasma rifle, which is definitely worth shifting some inventory around to take away. I do not, however, want to get rid of my shotgun, because that is kind of my favorite weapon of choice lately. What the heck? Actually, let's finish looting and come back for it. And this one has another tape of some type. And this lab has a whole bunch of people in it. That computer is not functioning. Can we get it functioning with science? You failed to learn anything. So yeah, really nothing here except for a whole bunch of opportunities to get killed by the robots here, and the plasma rifle, which is easily the best weapon we found so far. And you know what? I think we should go ahead and test out the plasma grenade. And that killed the robot pretty handily. Combat cannot end with nearby hostile creatures. Well, I guess we're committed to killing everybody now. Now, I'm still not incredibly accurate with this pistol, but the results speak for themselves. And that killed that one. 25 hit points in one shot, and it's still standing. Oh, there's two here we hadn't even noticed. Oh, let's try the regulator. That did it. In case you're wondering if I have to do this to leave, I do in fact, because I won't use the elevator and leave the level if there's hostiles present. I think that will do it. 1,600 experience points. And for those who are keeping score, keeping in mind that we just leveled, we're now about halfway to level 10 after all that. Well, that is the glow in a nutshell. There's nothing left but a lot of busily schlepping gear up to the surface, so it's easier for me to go and retrieve it to resell it later. Which might be worth the effort later when I desperately need the money for a little something in the future. But for now, I think it will be enough to deposit the Geiger counter I don't need in there. Along with the Desert Eagle I don't need, now that I'm going to be depending on energy weapons and the ammo for it. And actually going to take any of that back just to get rid of it. Okay, I'm at maximum capacity. So, having conquered the glow, next time we shall return to the surface, and we will return to the Brotherhood of Steel and see what glory awaits us as we return triumphant with the thing that they sent us to get that they didn't believe was actually here. We will see you next time.